At exactly 6:47 on a rainy Sunday morning, my phone buzzed with an alert that instantly shattered my entire world. I stood frozen in the hotel bathroom, staring at a banking notification showing that $74,000 had been wiped from my savings. My name is Paige, and that money represented years of grueling extra shifts and sacrificed vacations as a physical therapist. In less than 10 minutes, my entire future had been completely erased. To understand how this happened, you have to understand the toxic dynamic of my family. My mother, Brenda, was a master of guilt who constantly painted herself as a martyr to get what she wanted. My father, Arthur, was the quiet operator who let her do the heavy lifting before stepping in to collect the rewards. I was always the responsible child, while my younger sister Chloe was the golden child who never made waves. As my career progressed, my parents began to view my financial stability as their personal safety net. They constantly asked for loans that they never intended to repay, using guilt as their primary weapon. Eventually, I learned to say no and set firm boundaries, believing we had finally reached a healthy understanding. I truly believed I had escaped their cycle of manipulation, but I was about to learn how wrong I was. The betrayal took place during the wedding of my sister in Savannah, where I spent 3 days acting as the perfect bridesmaid. On the evening before the ceremony, Brenda came to my room looking incredibly stressed and tired. She explained that a banking delay had frozen her funds and asked if I could temporarily add her to my account to handle urgent vendor payments. Because of the chaotic wedding environment, I ignored my doubts and agreed. I handed Brenda my phone to verify the security code while my hands were full with wedding decorations. That simple action allowed her to gain full access to my life savings, which she drained completely by Sunday morning. Sitting on the cold bathroom floor, I felt a freezing wave of shock wash over me as the reality of her deception sank in. I immediately called the bank to flag the massive unauthorized transfer. I walked down to the farewell family brunch, keeping my composure as I located Brenda at a crowded table. When the other relatives stepped away, I looked her in the eyes and told her that my money was gone. She did not even flinch, calmly setting down her coffee cup before admitting that she knew exactly what happened. My father had accumulated massive debts with dangerous business partners, and they had chosen to sacrifice my future. Brenda told me that because I was young, healthy, and employed, I would easily earn the money back. She spoke with a terrifying lack of empathy, as if my hard work was merely a resource for them to exploit. In that moment, I realized that my family did not see me as a person, but rather as a financial cushion. I quietly gathered my things and walked out to my rental car, ready to fight back. Sitting alone in the dark parking garage, I spent hours contacting legal experts and escalating the situation with the fraud department. I found an experienced attorney named Rosemary who agreed to take my case immediately. By the time I returned home, I had gathered months of bank statements and established a clear paper trail. I was determined to hold my parents accountable, regardless of the social consequences or family outrage. Rosemary quickly uncovered that the financial troubles of my father were far deeper than a simple personal debt. Arthur had been running an unauthorized investment scheme, taking large sums of money from local business partners and even relatives. My mother had been actively helping him cover up the losses by moving funds between different accounts. My hard-earned savings had been stolen simply to keep their failing house of cards from collapsing. We officially filed a civil lawsuit against my parents, which triggered an avalanche of angry voicemail messages from Brenda. She accused me of destroying the family and being incredibly selfish for prioritizing my money over their safety. Some messages were filled with tears, which made the process emotionally painful, but I refused to back down. I kept my distance and let every single call go straight to my voicemail without responding. During the 3rd week of the legal battle, my sister Chloe called me and my heart raced as I answered. I expected her to plead for our parents, but instead she revealed a shocking truth that changed everything. Brenda had approached Chloe with the exact same bank request during the wedding weekend. Chloe had sensed the danger, made an excuse to protect herself, and deeply regretted not warning me about the trap. Hearing those words from my little sister made me break down in tears on my kitchen floor. I had spent my entire life trying to shield her from the toxic behavior of our parents, only to realize she had already learned to protect herself. We spent hours talking, and Chloe provided vital details about hidden financial journals she had discovered in the house. Her support gave me the strength to push forward with the lawsuit. Armed with overwhelming evidence, our legal team forced my parents to accept a comprehensive settlement agreement before the trial. They were legally required to repay the entire $74,000 plus all my legal fees. The court placed a direct lien on the house of my parents to guarantee the structured payments. While they managed to keep the property, the local authorities soon began their own criminal investigation into the actions of my father. Arthur eventually agreed to a plea bargain that resulted in supervised probation and a strict ban on financial activities. Brenda also received a civil judgment and probation for her direct role in taking my funds. I chose not to attend any of the court dates because I needed to focus on my patients. When the first repayment arrived in my account, I felt a quiet sense of relief rather than triumph. The original house I had wanted to buy with the yellow door was sold to another family while the case was ongoing. However, I eventually found a beautiful home with a green door and a sunlit kitchen. I moved in with the help of Chloe and my close friends, creating a space that belonged entirely to me. My parents were not invited, which was a necessary step for my own peace of mind. People sometimes ask if I feel guilty for taking legal action against my own family. I tell them that my parents made a deliberate choice to exploit my trust and steal what I had earned. They expected me to remain silent and absorb the damage, but I chose to respect myself instead. I still love them from a distance, but love does not mean allowing people to destroy your life without consequences. Today, my sister and I share a strong bond built on truth rather than family secrets. If you are dealing with toxic people who view your success as their personal resource, please remember that setting boundaries is not betrayal. Protecting your future is an act of self-respect, and you have every right to build a peaceful life. Thank you for listening, and please share your thoughts in the comments below.